And welcome to our YouTube broadcast on an exciting investment opportunity in the world of cryptocurrency tokens. So today we are diving into rapidly evolving landscape where innovation and competition are at the forefront. So we're gonna introduce a cryptocurrency of Celestia. That's the one that may become a real competitor of Ethereum, and that's been making waves recently as a formidable competitor to this large giant of Vitalik's buterin vehicle. So in this ever-expanding world of blockchain and decentralized finance, cryptocurrencies are more than just digital assets, and I will just prove that they represent a new era of financial possibilities with investment approach. With right investment approach to this sector, you will find a real best that will make you the profit. And we are here for you to study this all together with consideration of fundamentals, technicals, sentiment, and the investing and trading supposed decisions to make. So I'm very glad you decided to pop in, and we are right now jumping to our case study. Let's find out the presentation first slide. So we are at the innovative cryptocurrency token of Celestia. That's the one that have been introduced to the world very recently. So we are delving into this technology in a moment. But if you just have popped in, just have joined the transmission that's alive, you may just hit this like button if you're finding this useful, and maybe subscribe the channel if you're finding overall content as the right for you. So this presentation will be hopefully the gateway to understanding this project and the gateway to give you an edge over the market. So let's head on to first element. What is Celestia? How does it work? So Celestia is, in the words of cryptocurrency, the first data availability network that is addressing the issue of verifying transactions data in blockchain. Let me just jump to later point to make it a little bit more clear. So it looks like the data availability ensures anyone can access and verify transaction data in a blockchain. So that's a very important case study. Right now, what's inevitable is that there are some projects that are giving and providing us with such solutions as such as Cosmos, for instance, and Polkadot, that are the crypto hub of different type of solutions. Right now, the Celestia is the one of the thing that is really making a bridge between the blockchains. What we can observe right here is that's absolutely important image that where Celestia scoring a high on is that merging these all solutions together. And the challenge is that right now for the project is that nodes must download all transaction data to independently verify blocks, which becomes problematic for non-full nodes as the blockchain grows. And this Celestia's type of an approach gives the data availability solutions for the users to bring in a kind of a whole unity for all that entities. So Celestia utilizes data availability sampling technology, allowing light nodes to sample a small portion of block data to verify its publication, and multiple rounds of random sampling increased confidence. And once a predetermined level is reached, the data will be considered available. So during this, maybe it might be sounding like a complicated issue, but if you just make an approach, what was the real concern about Ethereum in the last cycle? And Avalanche and Cardano that were the bottlenecks in terms of the scalability and sending transaction throughout the entities. So we were just dealing with so much type of a traffics on those networks, and right now Celestia is finding that with this light node type of an approach, and also with this bridging concept, that might be the one of the backbone of the upcoming crypto revolution. So on the one thing, we may have finding Celestia in terms of benefits for users, but also that gives benefits to developers. So developers can create much better products thanks to the fact that they have much more flexibility in how they design the applications, because developers can create their own layer 2s and rollups that are no longer limited to using whatever smart contract environment. So it's all on the base layer, and this flexibility making this project special. And what I wanted to point out right now as very important element is this mainnet launch that happened back in October. That's why the project right now is thriving so high and soaring in price. So what I wanted just to bring over is that what consistently demonstrates is that the project is performing very well during its inception in 2019, and there is no denying that right now it's becoming the real structure that is based on the real solutions. So Mayet Launch bringing the hope for the project to make it golden path to bring more type of a ups and downs to the structure, so ecosystem may thrive. Right now, it's many questions, right? How the project will eventually face the upcoming demand, whether there might be undercurrents that may bring more traffics, but as we do know right here, the Celestia is in a very infant phase of development. That's why we still having a kind of a risky bet when buying the token that is representing kind of a share in the whole ecosystem. But with this risk, we will be willing to take. We may have a really real possible high returns of investment. So right now, what I wanted to also find out is that with this mainnet, we are sparing hopes for that ecosystem to thrive, and possibly giving the chance in this next coming bull cycle to thrive even more. So with Mainnet, we have just launched the blockchain modularity. So with this Mainnet, we may bring the so-called modular era in the blockchain industry. So what does it mean? All is that the blockchain design concept that separates the essential functions performed by a decentralized structure, bringing the cryptocurrencies, data availability, consensus execution, and settlement. And with all of this launching of monolithic blockchain, we may just find that that these problems with the very high throughput, this demand for high throughput of transactions may be eventually solved. So there are very high expectations for that environment will become welcoming to those solutions proposed by the Celestial blockchain. Right now, let's think over how is the different. Right here, you can find it a little bit more like concerns that are closely knit to this graph, and you may find right here the tokenomics. So that's the where those early type of tokens have been allocated to what entities, and we have public allocation. That's only 20% right there. There was R&D and ecosystem 26.8, and early backers, that's Series A and B. So there are early supporters of Celestia that were rewarded with this allocation, and 15.9 it's seed backers, and 19.7 that's what I guess sorry, that was Series A and B early backers, and those are 17.6 initial core contributors. So we can find that right now there is a very low supply of the overall tokens, and what we can all say with this, that right now holding the Celestia project, the Celestia tokens for a longer term may pose some risks. So even though there are some advantages to this monolithic blockchain, and the solutions are really like of a welcoming in the whole crypto space, in this metric, however, we are finding that we may get eventually more diluted upon a time with time. So that may eventually impede the growth of a token in the long run. So will this aspect be turmoil engulfing the other aspects? I don't think so. Right now we have, even though just up to 20% of total allocation, as we'll find in a moment, is just the 14.7, if I remember correctly. That's still bringing us to the solution that this demand for the token should be much higher than the possible supply, and that's what the whole investors are betting on. And I do find that if we deliver the solutions that are proposed by the rulers and governance team, we may have a real demand overall. So currently the problem isn't necessarily in the forefront of the mind of Ethereum or Solana users, but that may be because neither blockchain has scaled to the masses, and that's why I do find that this demand for the token may increase at the large extent in the coming months and years. So that's why I do find that that it's still decent form of investment in terms of this metrics. However, let's look at the current situation of Celestia. So right here you can find that juxtaposition of daily trending USD volume, price, and development activity of so developers right now were very active back in October, when there was a time before the mainnet launch. So they have eventually delivered, and that's what has started materializing in price. So GitHub and the platforms are the platforms where programmers submit the code changes were very active, and there is a lot of development happening few hours and few days ago. So right now at this freshly launched blockchain, we can find that there are more announcements yet to be coming about the possible corporations of Celestia project, and that's what the investors are buying this in the forefront, and kind of a front running the news that may still come over yet to be delivered. So right now, taking all of this and watching the Twitter followers, there is nothing that may that may bring a stark warning to the Celestia project. Overall, I'm highly confident about the solution presented right here, and unanimously, I do find that Celestia project have a room to grow. But let's have a look at ranks. Ranks that finding where this project may eventually meander along, in which direction. Is it up only or just stagnating? Celestia right now is still a very good project, even though in its infant phase. So as I said, right now the tokenomics maybe is not very well, as we are right now dealing with only around 14% tokens in circulation. So there is a real risk that those tokens will be eventually dumped on the market by those investors that will have their vests unlocked in the long run. But with this demand supposedly coming over, this larger wave of appetite for the this kind of inciting solutions proposed by Mustafa, the CEO of the project, we may have a increase and rise in this field of roadmap and progress, and along robust rise with underlying technology along with ecosystem development. So we are also betting for more partners and investors to come. That's why the Celestia project market cap right now may not really point into something that may impede the spikes in the future. So what we may also find, what may really bring over this renewed demand in the next months to come, is that this partnerships will eventually be just delivered to a community, and you may also watch such elements like more events regarding the Celestia on coinmarketcall.com. That's what I find the best place to find out what the future roadmap of the project may bring to us. As we do know, the project is not revolving around in a vacuum. That's what I often just bring over. What significantly contributes to the valuation of Bitcoin, but in these terms, the altcoin name Celestia is this macro outlook. So right now, as we do know, the correlation between the stocks and crypto maybe in the latest times haven't been very high, but still this sentiment on stock market is pointing what kind of a valuation we may expect to bring over on the crypto, as we do know that there is a risk on and risk off environment. And with this reported EPS growth and trading indicators, we expecting next few months to perform better than what we were back in 2022. So right now we still have many months to come, at least to this presidential period, where presidential election period, where we may have a little bit more uncertainty as normally. But right now, I would say that with all that being said, there is a possible cascade of positive news for the market, with especially this RRP, so reverse repo facility usage, falling, but still having a space to drain this liquidity within months. So we still have around a few months to thrive based on this solely metrics. So that's what kind of a immersive, and that's what flirting with this appetite for this risk on environment. So right now we do find that even though there is a reduced demand in treasury bills, we can find that there is a I meant the increased demand for treasury bills, and even though that may start some warnings in the short run, we may still have a very much of a lagging effect when those bonds will eventually play out the kind of a recession Habijin effect that may still come right after supposedly this post-presidential election period. Right now, there is not really much to worry about. Then, what's about technicals? Let's talk about the price, because I don't know that that's what interests you the most. So right here you have TIA. That's what a ticker of Celestia Tether US on Binance, and right here you can find that we had this enormous gains of over 140%. So it means that right now we are in an uptrend that has commenced on 10th of November. So we have just merely 3 days of an uptrend, and we have broken very heavily out of this horizontal trend. But right now, with this sidelines movement being ended, we are right now looking for the possible entrance and joining the bulls party. So right now we can find that the market has clamped down a little with this sell-off of around 20% in this epicenter of bearish dominance. But right now, considering all the aforementioned metrics, we should have at the good time in the fourth quarter of this year. So what the future holds for the token is I would expect this Celestia product to thrive. However, the pace of the growth right now is enormous, and I would rather steer clear of the Celestia right now. Why? Because this sell-off that took place on 13th of November is the one that I would just call as the impulsive move to the downside. As we can find right here, that's the largest correction in this uptrend. The previous corrections were just notching up to 90%. Right now we have not only largest correction in terms of USD value, but also in percentage value. So we can find that this market structure of Celestia is about to get broken. We can find this week of the candle being built at 9 a.m. ET time is the one that should be filled. Normally those very long weeks are being filled, especially in an uptrend that's after impulsive that led to the impulsive move. So we have kind of a very high probability of heading lower towards this 4.65 USD, and right after I would expect that we may eventually seek for another kind of a zigzag formation. So I would expect the Celestia project to still having more a kind of a consolidation type of pattern. Right now we are forming on 1 hour candlesticks a kind of a head and shoulders pattern that may eventually lead us with an objective, lead us to the sell-off up to 4.14, even up to down to 4 bucks. And that's what I expect is the most probabilistic scenario, is that we'll eventually end up somewhere here before tanking for the next round of bull run. It all depends where we will end up. It all boils down to what the sentiment around Bitcoin will eventually be. If we will consolidate within this range of 35 and 40k, we may have another extension, another leg to thrive in the altcoin market. Otherwise, we may have a bloody time ahead. So just be kind of a risk. I have my entrance point been set around this $4, and with a possible extension of 43 bucks at the first stage. With a very tight stop loss, I would expect that we may rebound out of this level that I'm just pointing to you, and then supposedly having another attack those $6, so it giving us a great entrance and such of a decent type of a profit yet to be made. But overall, it all depends on what's your risk tolerance. If you are just accepting this type of a area of stop loss of around 8%, you may just consider taking this bet. Otherwise, you may just decrease it, and otherwise maybe even just move your entrance position lower with a hope that we will get even down to lower $4. So right here you also have the open interest weighted, and we may find that this kind of a open interest weighted, that's a variation of the funding rate that takes into account the open interest calculated by multiplying the funding rate by the open interest at a specific point in time, finding that we have resetted them ourselves, so we are willing to rise a bit more, but we may wait for a longer correction in time. This 5.2 level doesn't really satisfy me, and I would stick for another possible entrance in the future. What about the sentiment overall? I do find that that's very important to really find out what's going on underneath. So right now we are in this very high greed outlook for the industry, but as we do know, we have just crossed through this crypto total market cap horizontal line, this resistance that may even push us to new highs in terms of greed, fear and greed index. So it means we shouldn't be much of a scared on 72 points, but we are just awaiting for a kind of a calm down, and this 72 point of fear and greed index shouldn't be such vocal to us, and may still bring some more gains to reality in the longer run. However, for now, the market seems a little bit too extended, and that's why if you haven't just joined the crypto market, you may just better wait for better signal to come. So with that being said, we are right now moving to the final thoughts and Q&A. So if you have any burning questions, you may just pop it right now. So what's critical to find is that right now in a Celestia project, it's all about hope. So solutions like Celestia support blockchain scalability without compromising security, crucial for Ethereum's L2 rollups. So it's all about caring about the blockchain trilemma with this scalability, security, and this rapid of transactions being put out. But still, we are on a theoretical type of a side of the fence. We are just betting for better times to come for Celestia. Right now we are kind of materializing this mainnet being delivered by this rise in the value of a token, but still that all may be already discounted by this type of a move. That's why I'm just remaining a bit of a cautious. So Celestia has earned a very bullish rating on many type of a metrics, but still there is many things to cover, and still I do find that there is the most difficult way ahead of it, with new partnerships being garnered, and with many meaningful other milestones being delivered. So the new crypto cycle is just waiting for such innovative solutions, but right now it's a little bit too early to say that that's a real Ethereum killer. So with that all being said, I just wanted to thank you for sticking around. Let me know down in the comment section below the video what you're thinking about Celestia, and whether you're buying or just holding Celestia for longer, and what's your investment approach. Thank you very much for sticking around. As a just of an announcement, I wanted just to claim that we are changing our schedule of transmissions, and there will be just Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 a.m. ET. So that's East time in the United States. So just switch over to those schedule. I will just also roll over this announcement on the social media platform. So thank you very much once again, and have a great Monday and Tuesday as well. We are seeing each other once again in the Monday, Wednesday, and Friday 8:30 a.m.